Okay, we're closing in mere days for the DC fandom, which I sadly will miss most of it because I have to work that day, but I will discuss it depending on what all. Well, I'm going to discuss it, but we'll see what surprises are in store. Hopefully, announcement of a new Superman film. And maybe, just maybe, yeah, I don't think Ben Affleck's coming back as Batman as much as I want it. I don't know. But anyway, I got this link below, details about Ezra Miller and Amber Heard, still very much attached to their roles for the DCEU. And apologies in advance. I am once again back in terrible back pain. I have only 2 videos pre-recorded, one of which I've already released because that was one I did a week ago and forgot about it, about the boys. That's already out, and there's a Star Trek video, but I wanted to do a Doctor Who one first, but maybe the Star Trek video will come out tomorrow, meaning I'm hurting too much to do the Doctor Who video. Oh, geez. So, apologies. So yes, Ezra Miller and Amber Heard. Now, Ezra was always a bit of a problem just because in interviews he comes across as, just quite the annoyance. But for all the flaws of Justice League, I didn't mind his portrayal as the Flash as much. There was a little too much pile-on of jokes for him. I'm hoping the Zack Snyder version of that will be more toned down. In the end, is he Barry Allen? No, that's not really Barry Allen. I guess the closest we got to a Barry Allen was John Wesley Shipp in the 90s Flash episode. But I've grown to really like Grant Gustin's performance on his show. So right now he tends to be the best, because there's only 2. But it didn't bother me as much. So it's like, hey, you separate the art from the artist, and that's all well and good. And you have to do that an awful lot. So that was fine. But then the video of him choking this woman came out, and it was all pretty bad. And people wondering, there's something really off about him that makes you think, is he on drugs and whatnot and this sort of thing, could be a problem. And so rumors swirled, could he be replaced going forward for the Flash movie? Well, there's a problem for that. Well, we'll get back to that after I discuss Amber Heard. Amber Heard, in a lot of ways, who I didn't have any real thoughts about. I saw her in Aquaman, and I thought she did all right, and I had no problems with her in the role. And then this whole nasty war between her and Johnny Depp came out, and her exploiting and using the Me Too movement when she really has no place there. The truth that's come out about her is really bizarre and quite disturbing. And so, yeah, don't like her. Don't ever turn your back on her. I talk about back pain. Oh, yeah, you'll feel a stabbing pain. So, people wanted her gone, and it was suggesting that Emilia Clarke could do it because she worked so well with Jason Momoa in Game of Thrones. Wouldn't that be a nice fit and all that? And although the latest rumors is that she might be up for the Zatanna role in Justice League Dark, don't know. But anyway, apparently Amber is also locked in to the role. The word is, a rumor says, pretty much as it is now, are protected. Now, why is that? Do these two have such powerful connections or whatnot? The article goes through it and all that, and details mostly about Amber's troubles. So I'll link the Bounding into Comics article below, and all that stuff. There was a petition and whatnot for Emilia and all that stuff. So this also involves Fantastic Beasts for Ezra, and oddly enough, Johnny Depp. But Johnny Depp apparently is back on there. His reputation was pretty damaged, and now he seems to have something of a comeback, and there's people pulling for him. And hopefully he gets his Pirates franchise back too. It's the one he made. I never cared for those films much myself. Only saw 2 of them, but a lot of people do. And I don't know that it's going to be as successful without him than not. So anyway, what's the deal here? Or will, Amber or Ezra or both get the boot? Well, apparently not. As far as I know, they will appear on some of these panels, which are pre-taped and everything. So don't worry about any kind of nasty question coming out or whatnot. But discussing the Flash and Aquaman respectively here. So why is this? Why aren't they given the boot? Well, both of them were in the Snyder Cut. And Snyder Cut is the big deal. Why would you want to tune in to Fandom on Saturday? Snyder Cut. Oh, geez, back pain, sorry. All of that is there, and that's the big deal. That's right now the biggest excitement about anything, really, is Snyder Cut. And to keep that going in the hopes that it doesn't die out, because it's a long ways to wait, sometime next year. And I mean, hopefully we'll get an actual definitive date for when the show will start or film, however they're going to do it, for HBO Max and all of that. But the thing of it is, it's this rather bizarre conundrum that Warner found themselves in. They tried this version of DC superheroes with Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman, and ultimately they got scared that the reaction was not quite what they wanted, and they wanted to change course. But there's a problem. Wonder Woman was successful, and then Aquaman was $1 billion movie. So now you have two movies that spun out of that version of their DC superheroes, and that's it's like, what do you do? You know? And so going forward with The Flash, which kept getting delayed, they couldn't get it, and probably, it seems, maybe part of the problem, or a big problem, was a lot of people had a hard time working with Ezra Miller. I don't know, maybe that'll be easier now because he seemed to want to stick with the version that Zack Snyder had in mind, and that's they seem pretty buddy-buddy even now. So that's probably, maybe that's what he was pushing for and all that, but it's just also that he's probably very difficult to work with. So what have you, but that he's probably getting that version of it in this Flashpoint movie they're supposed to do. So he's locked in because of Snyder Cut, and so is Amber. It would cost too much money to go in there and then do reshoots with those characters, even though, like, Amber is more brief in the film, although it might be, there's probably more scenes for her character in this version than the theatrical version of Justice League. So it's just, look, she's in there, that's that, you know, and they just like, man, I hope this goes away and hope nothing else even worse that Amber did. Jeez. I just, nobody pooped the bed anytime soon. So that's where they are, and that's where it's stuck. So, you know, because one of the things this article in Bounding the Comics brings up, well, hey, remember Hartley Sawyer? Yeah. See, Hartley, he was the Elongated Man, another DC hero in the CW TV series world of DC Comics on The Flash. And he actually did a pretty good job for what it was. I was kind of impressed with him, and he was one of these guys I thought could carry it forward and keep it lively. But, well, he had naughty tweets, see. And even though they're years old, it doesn't matter. He's canceled. He's has to be unemployed forever and starve to death living under a bridge. That's what happens to you today in our new, grand, bold new world utopia. So he's done. Well, if only he had been in the Snyder Cut, he'd probably still have the gig as Elongated Man, but no, he wasn't. So I think that's kind of how that works out there. And then there's other people who are just more connected and whatnot that survive and that sort of thing. But in this case, I think it's more of that. And Ezra Miller's got two big franchises, Fantastic Beasts, which is an offshoot of Harry Potter, which is very big for them. And he's connected with that. And that's a lot of trouble to do. Although it looked like they were going to just cut Johnny Depp off, you know, but they didn't. So it is a bit strange how that works out. I mean, Johnny Depp clearly is the biggest star out of all of this, but I don't know. But in this case, for the DC Universe characters, yeah, it's a good thing for them too that they were in that film and all that footage, which is a lot more than what we saw. And especially now under outbreak lockdowns and whatnot. It'd be very difficult, if not impossible, to do that, and costly as well, to reshoot scenes just to fit someone else in those costumes to make that work out, and then say, oh, look, our new Flash and Mara character. So Ezra Miller, I could kind of just look the other way on. It would have been a good opportunity to get somebody who probably could have done it better, but it didn't happen. As for Amber here, what she did was really just awful. And that pushing of it, and the idea that someone that would exploit and use a movement about Me Too, which is supposed to be about sexual assault and the like, to exploit it like that, well, you know, and it did no real punishment, you know, and no consequences, which might speak to Me Too, you know. So there you are as to why this happens. My theory is, if not for Snyder, which, look, I've been a big supporter of, I want to see that film, regardless of who's in it. But this, you know, these are the things, how it goes. And it's just another little example of this strange conundrum of where they were. Otherwise, they would have scrapped the whole thing. And like Robert Pattinson's Batman movie, which is kind of what that is, probably would have been the start of an entirely different DC universe. But now I think it's just going to be this version of Batman, and when it's complete, it's complete. But otherwise, it might have been an attempt to do something else when all this DCEU stuff would have just been scrapped and forgotten. But some films were successful, some weren't. And that's where you are in that bit. And in here, where it turns out Snyder Cut is your big salvation, and especially for HBO Max, well, you're probably going to have to keep Amber and Ezra around for a little bit more. As for Aquaman 2, she's on this panel apparently, so I'm guessing that as well, but that's a bit a ways away, and maybe that could change provided it gets any worse, you know. But, well, you know, as with everything, we'll see. All right. Thanks for visiting with me. We'll do it again soon.
All right. Thank you for watching and listening. Why not like and subscribe, and check out that link description below. That'll take you to my mini stores and have plenty of goodies for you. You know, hats, mugs, stickers, posters, all that goody stuff. Plus, you can head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book Night Night. Oh, yeah. Plus, you can also catch my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, over at RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on my channel at BitChute. That's the Mr Nailsin channel on BitChute.com.